For generations, the physical toll of midlife for women has been shrouded in a heavy silence. The resulting symptoms are frequently dismissed as mere hot flashes, temporary inconveniences that you simply have to endure. This period marks a biological transition that shifts the baseline of your internal health, requiring a new set of navigational tools. When we ignore the physiological realities of this period, we end up fighting our own bodies. The first step to regaining control is understanding the exact science behind what is going on beneath the surface. This diagram illustrates the intricate network of chemical pathways branching throughout the body. Estrogen and progesterone orchestrate your metabolism, your energy levels, and your stress responses across every organ system. During perimenopause and menopause, the levels of these master hormones sharply decline. This withdrawal creates a systemic biological vacuum, leaving highly sensitive metabolic and neurological pathways without their usual directors. That singular drop in hormones doesn't happen in isolation. It acts as a trigger, knocking over a sequence of hidden physiological dominoes that ripple outward through your entire system. The first major reaction alters how your body stores energy. As estrogen drops, the physical geometry of your body adapts, redirecting new fat storage away from the hips and directly toward the abdomen. Looking at this torso illustration, we see the internal organs. Fat accumulating here is visceral fat. Unlike subcutaneous fat, it packs deep inside, wrapping tightly around the stomach and liver. It acts as active tissue, releasing inflammatory compounds into your bloodstream. Internal fat accumulation constitutes an active health risk that requires a specific biological counterstrategy. That brings us to the next domino: how you process fuel. Ordinarily, when you eat carbohydrates, your blood sugar rises, prompting your pancreas to release insulin. This hormone signals your cells to absorb and use that sugar for fuel. During midlife, your cells often become less responsive to this signal. The energy remains stranded in the bloodstream, unable to enter the cells that need it. With blood sugar remaining high, your pancreas floods the system with even more insulin. This massive spike triggers a biological command for aggressive storage, converting that floating energy into more visceral fat. You are caught in a continuous loop. The visceral fat worsens insulin resistance, which stores more fat, steadily elevating the risk for type 2 diabetes. This graphic of a burning fire represents systemic chronic inflammation, a state triggered by the combination of hormone withdrawal and expanding visceral fat. Acute inflammation is highly protective. It's the redness and swelling that heals a cut. But chronic inflammation acts like an internal fire alarm that never turns off, gradually damaging healthy tissues over time. In parallel, we see a threat called oxidative stress. As detailed in this cellular model, unstable molecules known as free radicals overwhelm your antioxidant defenses. They attack the central structures of your cells, creating a destructive process that works remarkably like metal rusting. For the roughly 5% of women who experience early menopause before age 45, this entire timeline is accelerated. The prolonged absence of estrogen sharply increases cardiovascular and cognitive risks over the decades. These invisible, microscopic forces, the internal fire and the cellular rust, are the true drivers of accelerated aging and disease risk during the midlife transition. The resulting cascade of insulin resistance and inflammation is entirely interruptible, even if the initial hormonal shift is inevitable. Your diet acts as the first intervention. By prioritizing anti-inflammatory foods like fatty fish, leafy greens, olive oil, and berries, you provide your cells with the specific antioxidants required to neutralize free radicals and clear out the rust. Next, you target the musculature. Prioritizing protein intake and engaging in targeted strength training forces your muscle fibers to physically adapt and grow. This structural adaptation helps those cells regain their sensitivity to insulin, pulling sugar out of the bloodstream and stopping the fat storage cycle. Finally, you modulate distress response. Practices like deep breathing, meditation, and securing adequate sleep are active physiological tools. They lower your cortisol levels, effectively depriving that chronic inflammatory fire of its fuel. You do not have to accept the symptoms of midlife as a silent burden, and you certainly do not need to fight against a body that you don't fully understand. By learning the science behind the cascade, You equip yourself with the precise biological tools needed to intervene. You can shatter the silence, work in tandem with your physiology, and successfully protect your long-term health.